There's a moment in every woman's life where your dream life starts asking for a new version of you. And the version you are right now, she can't come with you. The most powerful shifts that I have just in this past year didn't come from watching more content or working harder. They came from getting really quiet, reflecting, and facing the truth. I was starting to notice the patterns that I kept repeating. And as we know, the truth is hard to face sometimes. Some of these truths I'm about to face with you are going to be very uncomfortable to face, but facing them, reflecting on them, has really changed me for the better. They help me reset how I see myself. They help me come home to who I really am, and I'm pretty sure they will help you too. Let's dive in. Hi there, this is Samira. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about building your dream life from the inside out. We talk about soft success, mindset, feminine energy, and building a faith aligned business. If you're a woman in your 30s and you're just tired of burnout and doing things the same way, this channel's for you. If you're ready to embrace the soft life and welcome new energy, I've created a free workbook right here. This workbook is a 7-day challenge for you that guides you on slowing down and embodying what it's like to have a soft life. The link to my workbook is in the description below. Let's dive into 6 uncomfortable truths we women all need to learn. So number 1, your self-love must be stronger than your desire to be loved. Why? Because the relationship that you have with yourself is the only truly lifelong relationship. When you crave love and approval from others more than you value yourself, you start making small, quiet compromises. You say things that don't serve you, like agreeing to a night out with friends when you need rest just to keep your friends happy, or attending events that you have no excitement for because you're afraid of disappointing others. You smile and nod at opinions that you don't agree with just so you can come off easygoing. But inside, you are shrinking. I used to hide my true thoughts and strong opinions to avoid hurting feelings and ended up hurting myself. I feared judgment, so I held back. Or when it came to creating content online, I feared judgment and held myself back online. But all this did was create resentment and self doubt. But here's the truth: to exist, to be brought into this world by God, already proves that you're worthy. You're a miracle with a unique fingerprint and a unique divine purpose. You are already loved by your Creator, and that is more than enough. Accepting this uncomfortable truth helped me show up as my authentic self. Not to be liked, but to be real, to be true to who I am, to be my authentic self. You must create this wholeness within. You do not need validation. You do not need the approval of other people. You should know within already that you are valuable and you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. Because the love you seek outside is often a reflection of the love you haven't given yourself. And the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other one. When your self love is stronger than your approval, you stop chasing and you start attracting. You stop bending to fit in places you've outgrown. You stop handing the pen to other people to write your worth. The more you nourish your heart, the more your boundaries strengthen, your voice steadies, and your presence becomes magnetic. People will feel the difference, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're rooted in something far deeper: self respect. So, love yourself enough to rest when you're tired. Love yourself enough to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Love yourself enough to walk away from anything that dims your light. Because the relationship that you build with yourself will be the foundation for everything else in your life, including the love that you allow in. Lesson number 2: you're not emotional, you're holding on to pain that you haven't healed. We live in a world where they tell women that they are too sensitive, too emotional, and too reactive. But I've learned that emotional reactivity is almost always a signal, not a flaw. When something small triggers a big action, it's usually because we're carrying something unresolved. Maybe it's childhood pain. Maybe it's betrayal that we've never processed. Maybe it's guilt, shame, or grief that we've buried in. And now, anytime life touches that wound, we explode. I've had to sit with myself and ask, what am I holding on to that I need to let go of? Who do I need to forgive to be free? What version of me am I still pushing for not knowing any better? This kind of emotional healing takes radical honesty. It takes softness, it takes compassion, and it takes practice. Learning to pause before reacting, breathe before speaking, and choosing peace even when your ego wants chaos. There's a saying from Tony Robbins that I really like. Healing is not about changing your past. You can't do that. It's about owning your story and using it to empower your future. So if you find yourself overreacting or spiraling, Don't shame yourself. Get curious. What is underneath that reaction? What's the truth you're finally ready to face? Because your emotional triggers are not signs that you're broken, actually signs that you are ready to heal. And I see this a lot when women are going through the luteal phase. This is the week before your period. We're very emotional, we're very moody, and a lot of past events or pains that we've experienced come up in this time. I can make a whole video about this, but this is a great time to reflect why the same patterns keep coming up. Why do the same old stories that make you sad come up? This is the time to heal. Your body is telling you something. And healing doesn't happen by shaming yourself into silence. It happens when you meet your emotions with compassion, give them a safe place to land, and allow yourself to release what no longer serves you. The softer that you become with your heart, the stronger you become in real life. Because emotional healing isn't about never being triggered. It's about learning to turn those triggers into teachers. Lesson number 3: you don't need clarity to take action. Clarity comes from action. One of the most common problems that we women face is overthinking. We're stuck in our heads. We're worried about our jobs, our health, our families, our children, and the more we think about it, the worse it gets. But the only way to cut through the mental chaos is doing something. Take one small step, move your body, write it out, clean your space. When I was at rock bottom, I didn't have a plan. I just knew I needed to do something. So I started journaling. That simple act helped me clear my mental fog and access a version of myself I hadn't seen in years. Even women online are resonating with this no nonsense simple action. So there's a TikToker by the name of Kyle Perkins who has reached over 1 million followers. And essentially, she's just yelling at women in the nicest way possible to get up and clean. No excuses. And it's really helping. You see, all the comments where women are like, I needed to hear this. Cleaning really did make me feel better. Cleaning did help me with my mental issues. Cleaning my house helped me get the momentum I need to start something new. And why is this? Because that one act, getting up and tidying your home, does something deeper. It reclaims your space, it calms your nervous system, and it makes you feel productive again. So if you ever feel stuck or need guidance, journal, pray. If you're sad, play some music and dance. If you didn't get the job that you wanted, don't spiral. Use that energy to build a skill, refine your resume, or apply again. Turn your rejection into redirection. Clarity is found in movement because motion creates emotion. When you shift your body, you shift your mindset. When you take one aligned step, the next one becomes more clear. So don't wait for the perfect time. Just move. Just begin. Waiting for clarity is like waiting for fog to lift so you can start driving. You'll be stuck in the same spot forever. Clarity isn't just a light that comes on, it's something you uncover by moving forward, even in tiny ways. So if you feel stuck right now, don't waste another day in your head. Get up, move. Do the small step that you already know how to do. The woman you want to become will meet you on the road, not at the starting line. Lesson number 4. Whew, I need to breathe this out because this was a tough one to learn. The more uncertainty you can tolerate, the stronger you can become. The tough lesson here is that life is not linear. It's full of plot twists, death, infertility, financial hardship, disappointment. If you expect ease, which I'm very guilty of doing, life will feel unfair. But if you expect storms, you learn how to sail. This is why I want to build this channel to encourage women to have faith. But faith is built when you're forced to surrender, which doesn't come easy in a lot of people's lives. It's very, very important to still choose to trust God. I've had many seasons just recently where life felt very uncertain. And the more I resisted it, the worse I felt. But when I leaned into the discomfort, that is when I grew the most. The ones that can hold it together when everything is falling apart. You do not become unstoppable by having an easy life. You become unstoppable by learning how to bend and not break. One of the most powerful things that I've realized as a woman, especially as a mother, is how much my nervous system impacts my household. When I'm calm, grounded, and regulated, I'm not just doing it for me. I'm doing it for my son, who looks to me to understand how to feel safe in this world. I'm doing it for my husband, who feels more supported when I'm not overwhelmed. I'm doing it for our home, because the woman's emotional tone becomes the emotional tone of the entire household. That is power. Not loud, chaotic, demanding power, but soft inner leadership. It's the power of emotional mastery, knowing how to breathe when everything feels heavy, knowing when to pause instead of reacting, knowing how to sit with your own feelings instead of projecting it onto others. But trust me, there are days where I wanted to fall apart. But trust me, there are days where I want to fall apart, and sometimes I do. But when I choose to come back to my stillness, when I choose to ground myself before responding, I model something powerful to my child. I teach emotional intelligence without having to say a word. Now, that kind of self leadership doesn't just build peaceful homes, it builds peaceful generations. So if life feels unpredictable, good, let it be. Because the more you embrace uncertainty and have faith, the more resilient and magnetic you become. Lesson number 5. Now, this one might feel a little uncomfortable. It might trigger a few, but this is an uncomfortable truth that we women need to hear. If you've gained weight, feel bloated, feel sluggish, or feel disconnected from your body, it is not random. And it's not just about eating too much. Your body is communicating with you. If you've gained it gradually and you just don't feel like yourself anymore, is often a sign that something is off. Maybe you're holding on to stress. Maybe your hormones are out of sync. Maybe you're emotionally exhausted and food has become your coping mechanism. Maybe you're not moving your body enough because you've been in survival mode for a very long time. We don't talk about this often, but extra weight is a sign that it's protecting you. Your nervous system is telling you, I do not feel safe. So your body holds on to that extra weight. It slows down, it clings on to comfort. That's why it's not just about the calories or the discipline, it's about emotional honesty. I had to stop beating myself up and start listening. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, I started asking, what's not working in my life right now? What am I numbing? What am I avoiding? And once I got honest, and really honest, I could see the changes. I could make small changes, more nourishing food, more walks, more rest, less coffee, and more sunlight. Things that actually support my body instead of punishing it. Because your body wants to feel good. It wants to release what it no longer needs. So if you've been feeling off, gaining weight, or stuck in shame, you should pause and listen. Your body isn't the problem, it's a messenger. Most of us were never taught to check in with ourselves. We were taught to power through, to keep going, to numb ourselves with food, to numb with food, scrolling, caffeine, anything to give us that short burst of relief. But the way you eat reflects what's going on inside. Are you eating because you're hungry or you're anxious? Are you avoiding nourishing meals because you're neglecting your own needs? Are you turning to junk food because you need that hit of pleasure in an otherwise joyless routine? When you're emotionally out of sync, your eating patterns show it. And over time, this shows on your body. This is not about looking a certain way, it's about feeling good, feeling clear, feeling alive. And that starts with breaking the loop between emotion and impulse. For me, that shift began when I stopped labeling myself as undisciplined and started asking what I actually needed. Was I tired? Was I sad? Was I bored? Sometimes I needed a nap. Sometimes I needed a walk. Food was not a solution, it was a signal. So if you're feeling stuck in your body or your routine, do not shame yourself. Just get curious. What are you trying to soothe? What are you really craving? Because when you eat with intention, not perfection, just awareness, your body starts to reflect that clarity. Lesson number 6. Your best life will not seek validation, but insecurity will. We live in a time where it's very normal to showcase your entire life online, to post, to share, and to prove. And if we're being honest, we're posting to feel good, to be seen, to be validated, and to be praised. I am not pointing fingers because I've been there. Posting parts of my life not from wholeness, but from insecurity, from the fear of being forgotten, from the need to be recognized, from wanting to show people that I was doing okay. But what I've learned is when you're truly living your best life, you do not need to convince anyone. You're too busy being present, enjoying it, building it, protecting it. Validation seeking is a byproduct of a deeper wound. The part of you that doesn't believe, the part of you that doesn't believe yet that you're enough without applause. And the hard part is that validation feels so good in the moment. But we all know that it doesn't last. It's like sugar. It's like a quick hit and then you crash. Something I learned over the years and just being in my 30s. Real peace is quiet. It doesn't beg to be seen. It doesn't perform. It just is. And this goes beyond social media. It's the reason why so many of us are falling for trends. It's trying to look like the it girl, trying to keep up, trying to fit in, to be seen as desirable or successful. It's why some women are justifying surgeries for business. Why are we normalizing 10-step skincare routines, weekly aesthetic coffee runs, expensive vacations, not once a year, but 2, 3 times a year, as if those are markers for a meaningful life? It's wild. We are all starting to look the same. But I am proudly in a place where none of that matters to me anymore. I don't care to try the latest cake. I don't need to dine at the trendiest new spot everyone's going to. I don't have crazy FOMO if someone is traveling to an amazing place. I feel full right here where I am. Now, don't get me wrong, we all have our moments. I'm not saying I'm like this all the time, but I am happy to say that I have reached to a place of contentment. It's honestly okay if I miss out. I really don't feel like I'm missing anything. And to me, which I hope to stay this way, is peace. And to be clear, none of those things are bad. Everyone deserves it. Everyone's allowed to do whatever they want. It's just that I'm no longer driven to prove something, even when I show up online now. When I hesitated to post before, it was because I feared judgment. Now I am creating from my true self, what I truly believe in, what I truly believe other women should hear without judgment, and not trying to be understood. And the difference is everything. Creating from overflow is magnetic. Creating to prove something, now that's draining. The more secure you are within, the less external noise matters. You stop chasing attention and start moving with intention. To wrap up this video, these lessons were not easy. They came from discomfort, loss, and rock bottom moments. And I am so grateful for them. If any of these lessons spoke to you, please save this video, share it with someone who may need it, or come back when you're in a season that needs this reminder. You are not alone in this, and you're always growing even when it doesn't feel like it. I'm encouraging you to choose to evolve, choose to heal, and choose to show up anyway. If this video helped you shift something inside, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're ready to show up as the woman that you're meant to be, I created a powerful mindset workbook. You'll find it below, along with my free Soft Life Reset workbook to help you get started. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and thank you so much for watching. See you at the next one.